My husband was missing for 7 years. Until I found his poster at Target, full story. My husband's face showed up on a missing persons poster. With a different name, a different wife, and a note that said, "Missing since 2018. Husband and father of 2. Please help us bring him home." According to that flyer, my husband died 5 years before I met him. My name is Rachel Lawson. I'm 31 years old. My husband, well, apparently not legally, is 35. I've always known him as Adam Lawson. According to that poster, his real name is Evan Price. I live in Portland, Oregon. Or at least I did when this all started. Right now, I'm staying with my sister in Salem, trying to figure out how much of my life for the past 4 years was built on a lie. Let me back up. Adam and I met in 2021 at a coffee shop in downtown Portland called Stumptown on 3rd. I was grading papers. I'm a high school English teacher, and he was sitting at the next table working on his laptop with a spreadsheet open. He asked if he could borrow my phone charger. We started talking. He said he worked as a financial analyst for a small logistics company. He'd moved to Portland for a fresh start after a rough breakup in another state. He was funny, charming, a little shy, in that reads books on purpose kind of way. We clicked ridiculously fast. Our first date turned into 3. By the end of the month, we were basically glued at the hip. He brought me flowers just because, remembered tiny things I said offhand, and made me playlists for every mood. He told me early on that his parents were both dead, car accident, when he was in college. He said he was an only child. No siblings, no close extended family. It made me feel protective of him. I come from a loud, messy family with 3 sisters. He seemed almost lonely by comparison. He moved into my apartment in late 2021. We got a dog together. This ridiculous golden doodle named Bear. In June 2022, he proposed on the Oregon coast at Cannon Beach, right by Haystack Rock, during sunset like some Pinterest board fever dream. When I said yes, he actually cried. We got married in April 2023 at a small venue outside of Portland. My whole family was there. On his side, there were 2 friends from work. He told me most of the people from his old life were either toxic or not worth keeping around. You know those TikToks that say, "If someone has no photos older than 5 years, run?" I wish I'd seen those earlier. Adam didn't have a lot of old photos. The ones he did show me were mostly from college and early 20s, nothing with family, no exes, nothing that looked like a long-term life. A few times I asked, "Do you have any pictures of your parents?" He'd say, "They're all back at my old place in storage and I hate looking at them. It still hurts." It sounded sad, so I didn't push. We settled into married life. We rented a small house in Milwaukee, just outside Portland. He worked from home a lot. I'd leave for school at 7 a.m. and come back around 4:30 p.m. He was always there when I got home. Cooking, doing dishes, playing with Bear, all the perfect husband stuff. There were a few odd things. He was weirdly attached to one particular backpack. A black beat-up backpack he kept in the back of our closet. He never went anywhere overnight without it. Once, when I was doing a deep clean, I tried to move it and he practically dove across the room. "Don't touch that," he said, a little too sharply. Then he softened. "Sorry. That's just where I keep some important work stuff." He was also paranoid about mail. Anything with his name on it he grabbed immediately. He forgot to update his mailing address with some companies, so random letters would show up addressed to different variations of his name: L. Lawson, Adam L. Sometimes just current resident. I chalked it up to him being disorganized. We talked about kids, but never seriously. He always said, "Someday when the timing is right." I was okay with that. I liked our little trio, me, him, and Bear. Then, in September 2025, everything imploded at a Target. It was a Saturday. I went to Target in Clackamas to do the usual boring adult things. Laundry detergent, dog treats, new throw pillows I didn't need. I was walking toward the exit when I passed the community board near the bathrooms. My brain almost didn't register it because those boards are always full of missing cats and guitar lessons. But one flyer caught my eye because it said in big, bold letters, "Missing husband and father, Evan Price." Underneath was a photo. I stopped walking so fast someone bumped into me. I didn't even apologize, because staring back at me from that flyer was Adam. Same brown eyes, same crooked front tooth, same faint scar on his left eyebrow from where he told me he fell off his bike as a kid. My heart started pounding. The flyer said, "Name Evan Michael Price. Age now 35. Missing since November 2018. Last seen in Denver, Colorado. Husband to Melissa Price, father to Connor 7, and Lily 5. If you have any information, please contact." At the bottom was a phone number and an email. Brinjavenhome at. For a good 30 seconds, my brain tried to convince me it was a coincidence. Plenty of people look similar, right? Maybe Adam/Evan just had a doppelganger. Maybe it was some weird trick of my eyes. Then I saw the slightly darker patch of skin on his jaw in the flyer photo, the same birthmark Adam had. The same one I'd kissed 1,000 times. I took a photo of the flyer with my phone, hands shaking. I drove home in a fog, fingers tight on the steering wheel. Adam was in the kitchen when I walked in, humming, stirring something on the stove. Bear trotted over, tail wagging. "Hey babe," he said. "You were gone a while. Target line that bad." I must have looked like I'd seen a ghost because his smile faded. "Ratch? You okay?" he asked. I put my bag down slowly, pulled out my phone and handed it to him. "Who is this?" I asked. He glanced at the screen, and for the first time since I met him, I watched his entire face fall open in unfiltered panic. He went instantly pale. His hand tightened around the phone. "Where did you get this?" he asked. The voice, the way he said it, it wasn't confused husband. It was cornered animal. "Target," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "On a missing persons board. Name says Evan Price. Missing since 2018. Husband. Father of 2. Why does he look exactly like you, Adam?" He swallowed hard. "I can explain," he said. "That sentence never means anything good." "Explain what?" I asked. "That you have a secret twin? That someone's using your face? Or that my husband is actually a missing man named Evan who has a whole other family?" He went silent. I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. "You lied," I whispered. "About your name? About everything." He put the phone down very carefully, like it might explode. "My name was Evan," he said finally. "A long time ago. Before I moved here." The room started spinning. "Why does your old name have a wife and 2 kids attached to it?" I demanded. "You told me your parents were dead. You told me you had no family." He ran a hand through his hair, pacing. "Rachel, please," he said. Just sit down. Let me talk." I didn't sit. "You have 60 seconds before I call the number on that flyer," I said. "Start talking." He pressed his hands to his face. "Okay," he said. "Okay. Yes. I used to be Evan Price. I was married. I had kids. But it's not what you think. I think you faked your own disappearance," I snapped. "Am I wrong?" He winced. "I didn't fake anything. I just left," he said weakly. "Left?" I repeated. "You disappeared. There's a flyer that says missing. Your family thinks you're dead. That's not left. That's abandonment." He started babbling. "Melissa and I got married too young," he said. "We had Connor and Lily before we were ready. I was drowning, working 2 jobs, no support, constant fighting. Melissa had terrible postpartum depression and refused to get help. Our marriage was toxic. We were killing each other." "So you decided what?" I said. "To vanish instead of getting a divorce like a normal human?" He stared at the floor. "I was driving home one night in November 2018, he said. "I pulled into a gas station, went inside and just broke. I sat in the bathroom and stared at myself and thought, if I go home, nothing ever changes. If I don't, I could start over. My stomach turned. You walked out on a wife and 2 kids at a gas station, I said slowly. And then what? He shrugged helplessly. I took some cash out, got on a bus and kept moving, he said. Ended up in Seattle for a while. Then Portland. I changed my hair, grew a beard, used a variation of my name, Adam instead of Evan. Got a new social through a legal name change. It was easier than you'd think. You never contacted them, I said. My voice was shaking but somehow calm. Not once. He shook his head, eyes shiny. I checked in online, he said. I'd search her name, the kids' names. I saw some Facebook posts. I knew they were alive. They had her family. They didn't need me. They definitely needed you, I said. Whether you were a good father or not, you made 2 human beings. You don't just get to opt out. He started crying. I was a terrible husband, he said. A useless father. Melissa deserves someone better. The kids deserve better. I was only dragging them down. When I left, I thought, maybe they can build a new life without me holding them back. I stared at him. You know what's funny? I said. You told me almost the exact same thing about your parents. That your dad checked out emotionally and your mom was better off without him. Turns out you didn't lose a shitty father. You became him. He flinched like I'd slapped him. I never meant to hurt you, he whispered. I laughed, a sharp, ugly sound. You lied about your entire identity, I said. You let me stand in front of our families and say, I, Rachel, take you, Adam Lawson. When that isn't even your name. You let me plan a future with you while your children had to put your face on a missing poster in a Target. We argued for hours. He kept saying some version of, you don't understand how bad it was. I was suicidal. If I'd stayed, I might have hurt myself. I became a better person with you. I kept coming back to, you had other options. Your kids didn't choose this. I didn't choose this. You made me an accomplice to your disappearance without telling me. At one point I said, why didn't you tell me before we got married? He wiped his face. I wanted to, he said. But every time I tried, you talk about how much you valued honesty, how you could never forgive someone who betrayed their family. And I froze. I was terrified you'd leave. So you just kept digging deeper, I said. Great strategy. Eventually I grabbed my keys. Where are you going? He asked, panicked. To my sister's, I said. I need space. He blocked the door. Please don't call them, he said. Please. If you tell Melissa where I am, it'll destroy everything. She'll hate you. Your family will hate you. Everyone will think you're a homewrecker. I'm not the homewrecker, I said. You wrecked your home yourself. Twice. He grabbed my arm. I'm begging you, he said. Let the past stay dead. I'm not that person anymore. We have a good life. Don't blow it up. I pulled my arm away. You already blew it up, I said. I'm just picking up the pieces. I left. At my sister Hannah's place in Salem, I showed her the flyer and told her everything. She went full big sister mode. You married a missing person, she said. That's not just a red flag. That's a whole United Nations of red flags. You have to tell his first family. I wrestled with that. On one hand, I felt a weird, messed up loyalty to him. He was still the man who made me tea when I had the flu, who danced with me in the kitchen, who trained our dog to shake for treats. On the other hand, there was Melissa, and Connor, and Lily, who had been living for 7 years thinking their husband/father might be dead in a ditch somewhere. I tried to sleep. I couldn't. At 2 a.m., I opened my phone and typed the email address from the flyer into a new message. I stared at the blank screen for a long time. Then I wrote, Hi, my name is Rachel. I live in Oregon. Today I saw your missing poster for Evan Price at a Target. I believe I know where he is. He's been living here as Adam Lawson. I met him in 2021. We got married in 2023. I am so sorry. I attached the photo I'd taken of the flyer and a recent photo of Adam and me at Cannon Beach. My finger hovered over send for a full minute. Then I tapped it. I didn't sleep at all after that. The next morning I had a reply. It was from Melissa. Rachel, I don't know whether to thank you or scream. I knew he wasn't dead. I've told everyone for years. I know he's out there somewhere. No one believed me. Can we talk? Please. We set up a video call that afternoon. I was shaking when the Zoom window opened. A woman in her mid-30s appeared. Brown hair pulled back, dark circles under her eyes, but pretty in that exhausted real-life way. Behind her I could see two kids darting in and out of frame, a boy and a girl. "Hi," she said. "You must be Rachel." "I'm so sorry," I blurted. She gave a humorless smile. "I guess we're both sorry," she said. "You didn't know. You married a ghost." We talked for almost 2 hours. She told me their story. She and Evan met in college in Denver, got pregnant unexpectedly, got married in a rush, had their son Connor, then their daughter Lily 2 years later. Money was always tight. He worked at a warehouse and did side gigs. She stayed home because childcare cost more than she could make without a degree. Things were hard, she said. But we weren't monsters. We fought, sure, but I thought that's what young married couples do when they're broke and tired. One night, he went out to get gas and clear his head. He never came back. At first, she thought he'd been in an accident. She called hospitals, the police. They found his car abandoned near a gas station. No sign of foul play. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. The police eventually said some version of, "Adults can leave if they want to. We can't prove he didn't just walk away." His family, what little there was, either didn't know anything or refused to admit it. Her family took her in. She worked 2 jobs, raised 2 kids who asked where Daddy went. "I told them he was sick," she said. "At first, I said he was in the hospital. Then I started saying he went away to get better. I couldn't bring myself to say. He left us because we weren't enough." She'd never stopped looking. She Googled his name regularly. Most of the time, nothing came up. Recently, she got a small life insurance payout after having him declared legally dead. With that money, she printed new flyers, started a website. "My gut kept saying he was alive," she said quietly. "Turns out my gut was right. I just didn't imagine he was out there playing house with someone else. I wanted to disappear into the floor." "I didn't know," I said again. "He told me his parents were dead. He said he had no siblings. He never mentioned you. Or them." She nodded. "I believe you," she said. "You sound as blindsided as I feel. Except I had 7 years to grieve. You found out yesterday." We cried together, 2 strangers connected by the same liar. We agreed on one thing: we needed to confront him. With witnesses. Melissa said she could fly out the next weekend. "I'm bringing the kids," she said. "They deserve to see what kind of man their father turned into." I didn't know how to feel about that, but it wasn't my place to tell her no. In the meantime, I texted Adam. "I know your real last name is Price. I've talked to Melissa. Don't come to Hannah's. Don't contact me directly. We'll be in touch." He sent a flurry of messages. "Rachel, please, we can still fix this. Melissa will twist everything. You don't know how she is. I'm a different person now. Don't let her turn you against me." I turned off my phone. The next weekend, Melissa flew into PDX with Connor and Lily. We met at a coffee shop near my house. It was surreal watching my husband's children, who looked so much like him, play with sugar packets while their mom stirred coffee like it was a lifeline. Then we drove to the house I used to share with Adam. He was there. His car was in the driveway. My heart was pounding as we walked up the steps. I opened the door with my key and called out, "Adam." He came out of the kitchen, then froze. His eyes went from me to Melissa to the kids. "Hi, Evan," Melissa said. He went completely white. "Mom," Connor whispered, tugging her sleeve. "Is that?" "Yes," she said softly. "That's your dad." Adam/Evan looked like he might faint. "Kids, why don't you go outside with Bear?" I said. "I'll let him out back." They ran to the sliding door, thrilled to see the dog they'd never met but instantly loved. That left the three of us in the living room. "You told me he was dead," Melissa said, voice shaking. "You let our son cry himself to sleep for years thinking you died. You let our daughter grow up with a missing poster for a bedtime story. And all this time you were here, playing house with her." She pointed at me like I was an exhibit. "It wasn't like that," he said weakly. "I thought you'd be better off." "Don't you dare," she snapped. "Don't you dare tell me what my life is like without you. I lived it. You took away my choice. Just like you did to her." He looked at me. "Rachel, please," he said. "Tell her I was a good husband to you. Tell her I changed." I stared at him. "You were kind," I said slowly. "You cooked dinner. You remembered anniversaries. But you lied about everything that came before me. So how am I supposed to know which parts of you were real?" He reached for my hand. I stepped back. "You could have gotten a divorce," I said. "Signed papers. Paid child support. Been an actual co-parent. Instead, you disappeared and built a whole new life like the old one was an inconvenient subscription you forgot to cancel." We talked, yelled, argued, cried for over an hour. He apologized. A lot. He said he was young and stupid. That he'd had a mental health crisis. That he'd always planned to someday reach out. Melissa said, "Someday when?" "When the kids were grown. When it was safe for you to come collect the credit for surviving without you." At one point, Lily peeked in and said, "Mommy, can I have a snack?" Completely normal kid moment in the middle of a hurricane. Eventually, Melissa said, "Here's what's going to happen. You are going to sign whatever paperwork my lawyer sends you," she said. "We are going to figure out child support. If the kids ever see you again, it will be on their terms with a therapist and only if they want it." She looked at me. "And you," she said gently, "need to get away from him. Because if he could do this to us, he can do it to you too." That hit hard. When they left, taking the kids and Bear out to the car, he and I stood in the empty living room. "I love you," he said, tears streaming. "The man I am with you, that's who I really am. Don't throw that away because of who I used to be." "You're not two different men," I said. "You're the same one. The one who leaves when things get hard. You left her. You left them. And you lied to me. I'd be an idiot to think you'd magically do better with me just because you light candles at dinner." He sank onto the couch, shoulders shaking. "What am I supposed to do now?" he whispered. "Live with the consequences," I said. "For once." I left. Right now, here's where things stand. I've filed for an annulment/divorce, depending on what my lawyer can even call this, based on fraud and misrepresentation. Melissa is pursuing legal recognition of his existence for child support and possible back pay. I've blocked him on everything except email, which my lawyer monitors. My family knows. Most of them are still processing the idea that their perfect son-in-law is literally a missing person from another state. Sometimes late at night I scroll back through our old photos, road trips, movie nights, Bear asleep on his chest. It feels like watching someone else's life. I keep thinking about that gas station in 2018. The moment he decided that